Welcome to DeFi Crypto today. Our topic today is time to be your own bank, part 7. Yes, we're the 7th episode of this fascinating series. All right, so what we're going to recap for those that are not familiar with the 6 previous episodes, which are listed in the description below, and I highly recommend that you watch them because we go over some details, so you might find answers to some of your questions in those episodes. Anyway, so the process is a bit like a loop, and we start with assets we don't want to sell but earns no yield. This is crucial. We like these assets. We never want to sell them. Why? Because we think they're going to go up in value over time, like Bitcoin, like maybe Fantom right now. We're going to talk a lot about Fantom this year, like Avalanche or whatever, Solana. You have assets that are getting more and more and more useful. And because of that, they're growing in value. And we don't want to sell them. If we wanted to sell them, we wouldn't go through all this. If it was Shiba Inu, for instance, okay, we'd sell the darn thing and just buy whatever we want, right? Because we don't expect Shiba Inu to go up in value that much over time. Shiba will go up, Shiba will go down, Shiba will go up, Shiba will go down. That's not a long-term investment. It's a speculative play. These are long-term investment tokens, okay? If you buy Bitcoin, it's because you think that Bitcoin is going to be worth $1 million in 10 years. If you buy Fantom, it's because you think that by the end of 2022, it's going to be worth $100. And so on. Same with Ethereum. A lot of people believe Ethereum is going to be worth $10,000 by the end of the year or in a couple of years, something like that. So we want to keep these assets. And that's nice and dandy, but we are locking up a lot of liquidity when we hold these assets. So let's say, for instance, you bought Bitcoin when it was like, I don't know, $100 several years ago. And now it's 40,000 plus. I forget what the price is. I didn't check today. Okay, that's all nice. But you've got 40 grand locked up in your Bitcoin. And from time to time you say, I need a new car. I'm going to get a car. I've got all these Bitcoins. I don't want to sell my Bitcoin because I think it's going to grow up to $1 million. What am I going to do? Well, this is why we have time to be your own bank. You use those assets as collateral and you borrow against them so that you can do whatever you want to do with the liquidity. Okay, you can reinvest it, you can spend it, you can go on vacation, you can buy a new car, you can buy a new house, you can do what you want. Let's go through the process, and then we're going to use an example, and today we're going to go step by step with that example, okay, to show you how it's done. So we deposit the asset to earn some yield, and then we wrap the yield-bearing asset. We use the yield-bearing asset as collateral, and we borrow stable coins against that collateral. And at this point, we buy more assets. If we're in an investment kind of mood, we buy more assets. If we're in a spending kind of mood, well, we take the cash out and we buy, I don't know, a car, a new shirt, a new watch, whatever, okay? That's up to you. You spend the money the way you want. The thing with time to be your own bank, focus on be your own bank. You are in charge. You do what you want with the money. You don't have to ask permission to the bank manager to say, oh, can I get a loan, please, 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 please. No. You do it. We're giving you the tools to do it yourself. And for those that did not watch the previous 6 episodes, you pay the loan when you feel like it. The loan can be there indefinitely. There's no expiry date. Okay, you borrow these stable coins. You want to pay them back tomorrow? Pay them back tomorrow. You want to pay them back 10 years later? You pay them back 10 years later. As long as your collateral bigger than your loan, you're cool. You are in charge. Okay, I want this to be super clear. It's be your own bank, not the other guy's bank. Okay, not Rockefeller's bank. That's who it is, okay? And that's why you pay the loan when you feel like it. There's no expiry on this loan. So let's go to the next slide. And today we're going to use the Fantom token as our asset, and we're going to deposit it on Yearn, which is a major DeFi protocol. Okay, it's a big one. Okay, we're going to show you on DeFi Llama. If we look at all the projects out there, we're going to find Yearn. At number 15. Okay, so how much is there? Over $4 billion right now. Okay, so it's not a small project. It's been around a while. They were on Ethereum for the longest time, and now they are opening their vaults on Fantom. And you're going to see some really exciting opportunities there, okay? Very exciting, on top of what we're going to talk about. So watch for this. All right. So we have some Fantom tokens, and we don't want to sell them. Why? Because we think we're very bullish on Fantom. And why are we bullish on Fantom? Well, let me find the page. This is the reason. These two guys are building a lot of DeFi projects on Fantom. For those that are not familiar with them, this is Daniele Sestagali, the guy behind Wonderland Abracadabra, which we're going to use today, Popsicle, and now is going to also be at the head of Sushi Swap. And this feller here, that's the guy behind Yearn, and he's also behind Fantom and a bunch of other stuff. Okay, so they are cooperating right now to build a lot of infrastructures, a lot of protocols on the Fantom network. And that's why a lot of people, including myself, are very bullish on Fantom. Fantom token right now looks very cheap indeed. Nothing to see here, okay? Maybe nothing's gonna happen, but personally, I like to have a little bit of Fantom in my wallet. Up to you. All right, so going back to our strategy. So we have our Fantom, and it's all nice and sweet, and we are really hoping that it's going to go up in value, but it's not earning anything right now. It's a little bit sad. So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap our Fantom. For those that watched the previous slide very carefully, you notice that these two are switched around, but essentially the whole process is the same. Okay, so we wrap it first. We wrap our Fantom first on the spooky swap, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And then we deposit the wrap Fantom to earn some yield on Yearn, and it becomes the YV wrap Fantom. Y is for Yearn V Vault, I believe. Okay, so it's a Yearn Vault wrap Fantom token. We take this, and we're going to deposit it as collateral on Abracadabra. We're going to borrow some MIM, which is a stable coin on Abracadabra. I'm going to take that MIM and swap it for something else. Now today what we're going to do, we're going to perform a looping, but manually. You can also automate it, but it adds more risk. So we're going to perform all that today. That's what we're going to see today in this video. Okay, so before we start performing all this, I highly recommend you follow Yearn Finance on Twitter. Yearn, the purpose of Yearn is to provide vaults where you can create some strategies and make a ton of money. I'm going to make more videos about Yearn this year because now finally they're on Fantom. For a long time they were just on Ethereum, which was kind of ironic since Andre Cronje is the Fantom guy. So finally they're on Fantom. So finally we have access to those wonderful vaults, and we can do a ton of great things. And we're gonna have a quick look at some of those today. All right. So let's see who can contribute to Yearn. It says you. Okay, so they are really open. They want people to get involved and create some strategies and all that stuff. And they have documentation. There's a Yearn encyclopedia. There's all kinds of stuff. We're going to have a quick look at it today. So definitely follow this protocol on Twitter if you want to make money. It's really good. All right, so there's an interesting Yearn Finance article on Medium. All the links for all this stuff are in the description, so it's easy for you to find. Okay, don't worry, I take care of you. And this is a very important page. If you want to see the tokens that we're going to be creating today, we need to use the code, the contract code that is available here. So this is part of the documentation at Yearn. Okay, there's a lot of information in there. Highly recommend you have a look at it. You can learn some new strategies beyond what we're talking about today. Okay, there's a ton of stuff you can do there. All right, so so this is what the Yearn vaults look like. Right now we're on the Fantom network. If you prefer Ethereum because you're so rich that you don't care about spending hundreds of dollars on gas, then go for it. There are even more vaults on the Ethereum network. But for us poor people, we're going to stick to Fantom, okay? And so what we're going to do first is, as you can see, there's a vault. I already tested it, so I put a little bit of money on this. We're going to put more today. And you have all these other wonderful vaults here. Now look at these APYs. You can get a very nice 29% APY on Spell, 29.55 on Curve, okay? And then you've got two new projects here. I don't know what the rates are going to be. They're in the process of being open. I don't think we can see the rates on this. No, it doesn't. See, it says yield is 0. So I think for those two, better wait until the APY actually displays, okay? And then you'll figure out if it's worth your trouble or not. Now, I want you to have a look at this. Wrap Bitcoin, 21%. Where else can you get 21% on Bitcoin? This is real, okay? They're not going to give you farm tokens here. This is real Bitcoin. You're earning Bitcoin on Bitcoin here, okay? It's the real deal. So if you're a Bitcoin maxi, well, you can maximize your Bitcoin even more, okay? We're not going to do any strategies today on Bitcoin. I just want you to be aware of this. This is fantastic. I love Bitcoin. All right, so now please remember, these rates are not cast in stone or anything like this. The rates will vary every few seconds. However, you have two different things at Yearn. You've got the vaults here, which are very sophisticated strategies that are built in, okay? And that's why you can get these fantastic rates, okay? That's why. It's not magic, okay? And these will tend to be a little bit more stable, but they will change, okay? This is DeFi, this is crypto, nothing lasts forever. Remember that, okay? So the rates will go up and down, up and down, up and down. But in the vaults, they tend to be a little bit more stable. Now, where they're not going to be stable at all is the Iron Bank. And we did a video about this. And these rates go up and down like yo-yos. But there are still some very attractive rates. Like if you look at the DAI right now, you can get 26%. Look at this. 26% on a stable coin. All you have to do is deposit the darn thing. Of course, maybe tomorrow it's going to be 10%. I don't know, okay? The rates fluctuate wildly in the Iron Vault, okay? And again, no farm tokens here. You're earning actual DAI. Why? Because people are borrowing at very high rates here, okay? So they're paying you by borrowing. So the interest that you get here comes from the borrowing APY. Okay. So make sure you understand how the money is created. This is something you need to remember. I keep seeing these scam protocols all over the place. Ponzi schemes that tax you when you buy the token, tax you when you sell the token, and then they give you back a part of that tax and they claim, oh, I'm giving you 25%, whatever. What? This is a Ponzi scheme. Those things are illegal in most countries. You should call the FBI and send them over there. Okay? Not here. These are real protocols that make real money for real people. Okay? Yearn is one of the best DeFi protocols out there. Okay? This is real money. You're getting real DAI, real USDC when you deposit here and so on. Okay? And same in the vaults. So we're going to focus on the vaults today because we already did the video about a strategy that we can do to double your APY on your deposits at Yearn Bank. But now what we're going to do is deposit some Fantom tokens in here, earn 13.6% APY, and we're going to multiply that money, okay, using Abracadabra. And that's what we're going to do today. So first, I need some wrap Fantom. So if you only have Fantom tokens in your wallet, you need to wrap it. How are we going to do that? Well, we go to Spooky. So as you can see in my wallet, when MetaMask wants to wake up, I've got a little bit of Fantom tokens here. Okay, I already wrapped some earlier because I wanted to save some time, but I'm going to wrap one Fantom token to show you how it's done. Okay, don't say I don't take care of you. All right, so there's no price difference between Fantom and wrap Fantom. Okay, so you're just paying a little bit of gas. So we're gonna do one, just to show you how it's done, to show you it's not hard. So see, there's a button that says wrap. You hit the wrap button. And MetaMask wakes up at some point and we confirm. So at some point, we're going to see that the transaction is processing. And we're going to see in our wallet that we have one less Fantom token and one more wrap Fantom token. All right. So if we look now, we have only 13.5 Fantom. I had 14.5 earlier. Okay. Now, if we look down here, we have somewhere my wrap Fantom. So I've got 106 wrap Fantom tokens right now, which we're going to deposit at Yearn to earn some interest. And then we're going to perform some magic with Abracadabra. All right, so that's it for wrapping. It's easy, right? So now we go back to Yearn. And basically, when you have active vaults, okay, they're going to be at the top. Normally, you would see them. You would see the wrap Fantom down here. Okay, but because I already have a small deposit here, it's at the top. So we're going to deposit more. I'm going to go max. Okay, so I'm depositing my 105, and it's going in the vault. And as you can see, I've got 13.6% yield on this. Okay, that's what we're getting at the moment. All right, so let's deposit. So I already had 10 wrap Fantom tokens in there, so total should, at the end of the operation, should be 115.8. So we confirm. Now, the very first time you do this, you're going to have to hit the approve button first, and then you're going to have to hit the deposit button. All right, so that's done. And we see our balance has been updated, and it's 115.8, which is what we wanted. All right, so that's not so bad. Right now, I have 105 wrap Fantom tokens earning me 13.6%, which is nice. But we can make it better. And to do that, what we're going to do is that Yearn creates receipts for your deposits, and you're going to take those receipts and bring them over to Abracadabra. Now, in order for you to see your receipts, you go in the documentation. Let me get to the right page. All right, so in the Yearn documentation, it talks here about the wrap Fantom token and then the receipt, which is the YV wrap Fantom. Okay, so we click on this. It's going to bring us to Fantom Scan, and well, you can have a look at the contract yourself if you want. If you're a programmer, you can see that this is what it's doing in the vault, all that good stuff. All right, so that's how it makes the interest. All right, so we've got here's the contract. So we're going to click this address, and we're going to add it to our MetaMask, because right now, if we look in our vault and our wallet, sorry. Well, okay, why do I have one wrap Fantom? I don't know. It didn't take all the Phantoms. Anyway, probably because I needed to refresh or something. Anyway, I want to see my YV wrap Fantom. So we click and we paste the contract address here. We add the custom token, we import. And we go, it says that I've got 61.74 YV wrap Fantom token. Why is the number different? Simply because the YV wrap Fantom token is not worth the same amount as a wrap Fantom token. Okay, it's programmed differently, and basically because it's a wrap token and it's earning yield, every time it's earning yield, its value increases. The Fantom token and the wrap Fantom tokens by themselves do not earn any yield, okay? But this one does, and that's why it's worth more. And gradually, over time, it's going to be worth more and more and more and more and more and more. At one point, the value of these tokens is going to be huge, probably in the hundreds of dollars a piece, maybe thousands at some point. Okay, so there's going to be more and more of a difference between the price of the regular Fantom token and the YV wrap Fantom token. It's going to, because this one's going to keep on going up in value, and that's why it's useful for collateral. Your collateral goes up in value, so you can borrow more and more and more and more over time. Okay, a little bit like your house. When you buy a house, after 10 years, it's probably doubled in value, right? That's the same. That's the same system. Okay, you don't want to buy and sell your house every day, right? You want to buy it and keep it because you expect that it's going to go up in value over time. That's what people do with real estate. And then you borrow against the added value of your house. We're doing the same thing with these tokens, because the YV wrap Fantom token grows in value. It earns interest, okay? But the interest stays inside, okay? So it's going to grow and grow and grow in value. And when you sell it, you get a capital gain. And you get tax on that. So don't sell it, okay? If you want to get the value out of your YV wrap Fantom token, and you don't want to pay taxes, use the strategy we're going to use today. All right. So now we've done this. We're done here for now. We need to go to Abracadabra. And this is Abracadabra. So we make sure that we're on the Fantom network. And what we did, we hit the borrow button, borrow link at the top here. I'm going to refresh the page, because I want to make sure the system knows I've got my tokens available. Okay, so we got plain old wrap Fantom tokens here. We don't need them. They're not earning us any interest, so I have no interest in them because they don't earn me interest. This is the one I want. Okay. All right. So if you look at the bottom here, it tells us in where it says your balances, it should say your wallet balances. This is where the money is. The money is in your wallet. Okay. So before you deposit here, you make sure you have that here visible. Okay, if it's not visible, refresh the page like I just did. Okay, so right now we've got 61 YV Phantom tokens. Okay, I'm going to deposit them here. We clicked on max, and we want to borrow against this. Okay, now some people are daredevils and they're going to go right away for 70%, right? And then you get this little red light that says high. It doesn't mean that you're high on coke or anything. Okay, it means you're or maybe crack, I don't know. What's your favorite drug? Meth? I don't know. So no, it means it's high risk. What does that mean, high risk? Notice that we want to borrow MIM. And here at 70%, we could borrow up to $230 worth of MIMs. The problem with this is that if the price of Fantom drops by about 30%, okay, it's going to be lower than the amount that you borrowed. And when this happens, Abracadabra says, and they liquidate you. And they say, you borrowed too much, your collateral is going to be lower than the loan. We don't want that. So we liquidate you. We pay back the loan, plus the interest, plus a liquidation penalty fee. And if you want to know what those are, you look down here. So the maximum collateral ratio is 80%. Okay. The liquidation fee is 12.5%. So if you get liquidated, 12.5% of the value of your collateral is going to be wiped out just from that fee. Okay. On top of the losses you might incur from the token going down in value from market fluctuations. So you're going to lose 20.5%. Plus, there's a borrow fee of 0.5%. This is done when you issue the loan. 0.5%, the value of the borrowing fee here is added to your debt at the beginning. And you have an interest of 2% that you pay. Now you're going to say, when do I pay that 2%? When you take the money out, when you take your collateral out, sorry, when you take your collateral out. So you have to repay the loan plus the interest, and then you can take out your collateral. That's the only time you need to worry about paying the interest. You don't pay the interest every day, every month, every year. No, you pay that interest when you close your position, when you pay back the loan and take out your collateral. Other than that, they don't care. Again, it's time to be your own bank. Okay, you are responsible. You take charge. You decide when you want to pay back the loan. You want to pay back after a month, after a year, after 10 years. It's up to you. Okay, up to you. So you don't need to worry too much about this 2% here. Okay, you don't need to say, oh, do I need to pay back next month on the 15th? No, you pay back when you feel like paying back, when you feel like it's time for you to take your collateral out. Okay, that's it. That's it. It's that simple. All right. So I'm not going to go high here. Okay. Why? I want to keep my collateral. I don't want market fluctuations to kill my position here. Okay. I want to reduce my risk. So how about 50%? It says medium risk. So that means that the Fantom token would have to drop by about 50% before I get liquidated, which is always possible. Okay, and then we have 25%, and it's in green, and it says safe. So that means the price of the Fantom token would have to drop by about 75%, give or take, before I get liquidated. So that's always possible, but it's very unlikely. Okay. Now, personally, I don't like to take too much risk. Some people like to take a lot of risk and they go 70%. But if you do that, you got to watch this thing every single day and figure out, oh my God. And at night when you're sleeping, you say, oh, is the price of Fantom going to drop or not? Okay, so you see, I like to sleep easy, okay? I like to have a good night's sleep. I don't need to worry about whether my Fantom token is going to crash on me or not. Even if it crashes 50%, I'm still safe here. I'm at 25%. It's very unlikely that I'm going to get liquidated. All right, so you also have the custom button. I could borrow, maybe I can borrow more than 25% and still stay in the green. Okay, these are estimates. Okay, the color was designed by the programmers at Abracadabra to give people an idea of what's safe and what's risky. This is not God's law or anything like that. Okay, maybe you disagree with them. Maybe you say, 35% is better. See, it's still green at 35%. If I go 40%, still green. Can I go 45? 45, it's still green. 49? No. So, all right, according to the programmers at Abracadabra, 45% is still pretty safe. So the token would have to drop by about 55%, okay, before I'm in trouble. So, and then I look at the amount of money that I can borrow here. So let's say I go with, I don't know, 140, make it a round number. I can or cannot do that. Cannot. All right, so I wanted to borrow a round number, easier to remember. And according to the estimates here, we would still be in the safe zone because it's around 45%, give or take. Okay? Now, what we are planning to do today is borrow this MIM tokens and then swap them manually for wrap Fantom tokens, which we're going to redeposit at Yearn, and then we're going to come back here and borrow more MIMs. Okay? And we can loop like this a few times until the amounts are so small it's becoming ridiculous. Or we can do it automatically by using, I don't know if you saw it, we have change leverage here. Okay, so we can do change leverage. Now the problem with this is you need to read the documentation to be aware of the problem that you might encounter. So when you're using what they call the leverage position, so it's an automatic looping essentially. So you hit the button like I just did, and you can go up and down, and then it tells you what your liquidation price is going to be. Okay, so you can process this as much as you want. Okay, and what it's going to do is that it's going to buy the wrap Fantom token automatically for you and reinvest the MIMs into wrap Fantom tokens. So it maximizes your yield. Okay, and it's quite nice and convenient and so on. However, if you get liquidated, you lose 100%. Okay, let me double check that it didn't change the rules on me. All right, so if we scroll down a bit, you have two very important statements here. If you use the leverage button, the program will automatically take the MIM that you borrowed and buy more wrap Fantom tokens and redeposit them on Abracadabra and basically perform a looping, okay, automatically. Okay, so it borrows the correct amount according to the slide. Okay, I'll demonstrate. It's going to borrow the correct amount according to how much risk you want to take, and it will automatically convert the amount of MIMs into wrap Fantom tokens that are going to be deposited as collateral on this. The reason for doing this is that you're maximizing your yield from Yearn Finance, and it's all done automatically for you, which is very convenient. However, two things. Obviously, because the MIMs are used to buy more YV wrap Fantom tokens, you don't get any MIMs in your wallet if you do it the looping automatically. Okay, when you use the leverage button, you don't get any MIM to appear in your wallet. That's this statement right here. Second, and this is even more important, that's why it says it's extremely important. Okay, remember this. Different from what happens with unleveraged position, the leverage position, if your leverage position gets liquidated, you will not have any asset left in your possession. Well, it's not going to come at your house and your car, but basically the collateral that you deposit, okay, if you get liquidated in a leverage position, once you're liquidated, that collateral goes down to zero. So let's recap this. Make sure that this is very clear. So if we don't use the leverage button, what happens? We deposit the YV Fantom token as collateral, and we borrow some MIM. In this case, I want to borrow 140 MIM. Okay? So what's going to happen? I'm going to have 140 MIMs in my wallet, and the collateral is going to be deposited on Abracadabra. So that's gone from my wallet, and it's going to show only on Abracadabra. And I'm going to be able to see that. Okay? Now, I can do what I want with the MIM that I have in my wallet at that point. What we're going to do today is we're going to buy more. We're going to perform the transaction manually. We're going to buy and deposit, swap that for Fantom tokens, deposit them on Yearn, get the receipt, and redeposit that receipt on Abracadabra, and we could borrow more MIMs against that. Okay, so I'm going to perform it manually so you know what to do. Now, some people say, okay, that's a lot of work. I'd rather do it automatically. Okay, great. Abracadabra has an automatic system they call the leverage. Okay. If I don't use the leverage and the price of Fantom drops a lot and I get liquidated, basically my collateral, the collateral value is under the borrowing value, what happens? The loan gets paid, the interest on the loan gets paid, all the fees that Abracadabra takes get paid, plus a liquidation fee of 12.5%. And whatever is left is mine. Okay, I'm not going to have a lot left, but whatever is left is mine. So maybe I have, I don't know, 20%, 25% of my entire collateral, okay, depending on how much the Fantom token went down, all right? But I still have a little bit of Fantom, Fantom in there somewhere. Okay, cool. Now, if we do the leverage, okay, to automate the process of looping and all that, and we get liquidated, 100% of your collateral is gone. So you have 0 tokens left from your collateral. So if you deposit $1,000 in this, okay, $1,000 worth of YV Fantom tokens, okay, and let's say that's your collateral, and let's say you loop this and using the leverage button, and you borrowed too much, and the price of Fantom drops so that your collateral value is below the loan value, you're done. Your $1,000 gone. Entirely, 100% of it is gone. You have 0 left. Okay? So be very careful. The function optimizes your investment and optimizes your yield, okay? But it also optimizes the liquidation, and there's nothing left. The reason for this is that the contract uses a facility that's called flash loans, and they have to pay for that, okay? All right. So if things go the wrong way for you, well, Abracadabra needs to get paid first. That's how it works, okay? So they have to pay the flash loan, they have to pay all the fees and so on, and there's nothing left, okay? That's how it's done, okay? So be very aware of this first, okay? So let's go back, now that we know about all the warnings. So let's assume for a second I'm not going to do it because I don't want to put myself at greater risk. Okay. So what happens? Okay. So the price of the collateral has to decrease by approximately 25, well, no, it's almost 26% for you to get flagged for liquidation. If we keep the slide here, okay? So the greater we go up here, you see that we can borrow more MIM. We started with a small amount, okay? But if we go all the way to the max, we could borrow up to $1,263. Although I started with a much lower amount of collateral. Why? Because it's been redeposited and borrowed more, and redeposited and borrowed more, redeposited, borrow more. So each time you borrow, that's all added up. Okay. Now, obviously, this is very risky. Okay, and the price of the collateral has to decrease by approximately 0.06% for you to get liquidated. Okay, so you're practically guaranteed to get liquidated if you go all the way to the top like this. Don't do that unless you really want to get liquidated. Maybe for tax purposes, who knows? All right, so try to avoid the red zone. Okay. You can be in the yellow-orange zone. But again, look at here. The price of the collateral has to decrease approximately by 8%. 8% is nothing. It's really nothing, okay? This can happen in the blink of an eye. In less than an hour, 8% is nothing, okay? All right, so if you go down and down further here, okay, at the amount that we're borrowing here, we would have to be, the price would have to drop by 26% for us to get liquidated. Okay. So let's say we don't do that. Yeah, this is very high. So if we were to do, I wanted to do 140, can I change leverage on this? Will it work, or it's going to maximize again? Oh yeah. As soon as you use a change leverage, it maximizes the amount there. Can I change that? Okay, yeah, I can. All right, so you hit the change leverage first, and then you can change the amount of MIM that you want to borrow. So this is your starting value of MIMs that you're borrowing. When you use this slide here, this tells you exactly how much you're borrowing totally. Okay? So, but look, because I started with a much lower amount, the price of the Fantom token would have to drop by 52% before I'm in trouble, which is a lot less risky. Okay. Now, even if I go all the way to the max here, I'm still in the yellow. So the price would have to drop by 48.79%, which is around 50% again. Okay. But this, like this is maximizing my investment, because the MIMs, I'm borrowing a total of 242 MIMs. I started with 140, but it's borrowing like an extra 102 MIMs because I redeposit. The MIMs are used to buy more YV Fantom tokens that are redeposited right there. Okay, and then we, with the extra collateral, we borrow more and buy more of those tokens, redeposit, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And this is the maximum. Okay, this is totally optimized. Okay, so basically right now my leverage is 1.74%. That's what it says. So that's why it's a leverage. Okay, all right. So I'm not going to use the leverage position. I want to do it manually, because if I get liquidated, well, at least I don't lose everything. I'm a little bit risk averse. If you'd like to take more chances, you can even increase this to, let's say, 200. Okay, and now if you go all the way up here, the price of the Fantom tokens would have to drop by 23% before you get liquidated. And if you go all the way down here, it's going to be about 38%. So, you know, you can play with the numbers, find something you're comfortable with. Okay. Be aware of this percentage here. Check the charts on CoinGecko for the Fantom token and see what kind of fluctuations we're talking about. If you see that the Fantom token typically drops, can have drops of 50% in a week, okay, well, maybe don't leverage that much. All right, so we're going to cancel the leverage because I don't want to go with too much risk. And I want to go back to my initial 140 MIM that I wanted to borrow. Okay, so I'm still on the green according to this. I am going to add the collateral. So this amount is sitting in my wallet right now. After I hit this button, it's going to go over here. It's going to be deposited on Abracadabra, but it's not going to be in my wallet anymore. Now, what I'm going to have in my wallet is 140 MIM tokens instead. So let's do that. And MetaMask, confirm. I need to do it twice. All right, let's check what happens here. Yeah, we need to approve first, and then we need to actually perform the operation. Fortunately, the button doesn't change to tell us that. Okay, so this was approved. This is something else. I don't know what it is. So this is approved. Okay, give full access, blah, 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 sign. Yes. Confirm. And confirm again. There's a lot of transactions happening. Thanks for taking part of the Okay. All right, we're going to refresh the screen because it doesn't show my position yet. Why did I have to approve twice? I don't know. Probably just need once. See, this one failed. So the cooking happened already. It's not showing, so we're refreshing the screen. We're going to go back and have a look. Okay, so our collateral is deposited. This is the value of our collateral. So we have our 61.7 tokens of YV Fantom tokens right here. And right now they're worth $332. We borrowed $140 of MIM. Now, notice that there's a 0.7 that's added there. Why? Borrowing fees, 0.5%. 0.5% of 140 is $0.7. So that's the 0.7 right there. See, easy to calculate when you use a round number. All right. So they add the fee to my debt and the interest that we see here, 2%. And these are, and this is an APY. So every day it's going to be a tiny amount that's going to be added to the debt. Okay. So over time, you're going to see that the amounts of MIMs borrowed, it's going to be inch higher a little bit every day, okay? Because my loan is so tiny, it's going to take a while before we can see a difference here. Now, the liquidation price, that's the price that this token has to be at to get me liquidated. Now, here it says MIM left to borrow. Theoretically, I could borrow another 122 MIMs here. But if I do that, that's going to put me in the red here. And if it puts me in the red, that means that the liquidation price that's fairly low right now is going to have to be a much higher, okay? The more you borrow, the less the price of the token has to drop before you get liquidated, okay? Make sure that's clear. So right now, I'm comfortable borrowing only 45%. Because it's relatively low risk. If the market goes nuts and everything drops 60%, I'm done. Okay? I get liquidated too. Okay? Hopefully I won't. Okay? And that's why I highly recommend you borrow in the green zone. So 25%, in this case, the green zone for this token is between 25 and 45%. I borrowed 45%. If you're more risk averse, only borrow 25%. You're going to be reasonably safe. Okay, it would have to be a really extraordinary event on the market for you to get liquidated. On the other hand, if you borrow 70%, very likely you're going to get liquidated at some point. So you have to watch your position. All right. So here it tells us 1 MIM is equal to $1 approximately. And one YV Fantom token is worth 5.39 MIM at the moment. And for me to get liquidated, that value would have to drop to 2.84. Okay, so you see from 5.39 to 2.84 is a big margin of safety. And that's why I'm in the green zone. I'm feeling relatively safe. Okay, that's how you have to evaluate this. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do with those lovely MIM tokens? Well, first of all, I want to see them in my wallet. I don't think they're going to show. So let's look at the assets. Do we have MIMs yet? No. I need to add the MIM token. So we click on this, and it's going to add my MIM token. And if we look back in the wallet, in the assets, at the very bottom, I've got 39.9999 MIM tokens, so essentially 140. So they cheated me with a fraction of a MIM, the bastards. And so what we're going to do with this, I wanted to loop those back in. So we're going to go to Spooky right here. And Spooky, notice that I've got MIMs. So I've got MIMs. I'm going to max them. And I'm making myself some Wrap Fantom tokens. All right, so I'm going to get 48.65 Wrap Fantom tokens. So I approve the MIM. Confirm with MetaMask. And then we're going to hit swap. Whenever this is done. Okay, transactions confirming. Okay, swappy. Confirm again. Okay, done. Go back here. All right, so if we look in our wallet, the MIM should be gone. No MIM. And now I've got some 49 Wrap Fantom tokens. Ta-da! What we're going to do, we're going to deposit them at Yearn and earn more interest. So let's go back to Yearn right here. And we're going to hit deposit, hit max. We have to refresh. I didn't see my new Wrap Fantom token. I forgot to say, when you deposit your YV Wrap Fantom tokens, well, they won't appear on Yearn because now they're deposited at Abracadabra, right? So that's why my position was no longer visible at the top. Forgot. All right, so we go down here and we're going to deposit the new 49 Wrap Fantom tokens. And we still earn 13.6% right now. So just hit deposit and we confirm. All right, there we go here. Okay, so what should be happening, right? Well, if we look in the assets, we have YV Wrap Fantom tokens. See, the Wrap Fantom tokens are gone. Now they're here as YV Wrap Fantom tokens. And because they're here, what can we do? We go back to Abracadabra and we can add more collateral. So we have 61.74 YV Wrap Fantom tokens deposited as collateral. Now we're going to put some more. So I'm going to refresh because it's not going to see anything otherwise. All right, let's go. Okay, magic happens here. All right, so now we can see our new tokens that we deposited at Yearn. We can deposit them here. And we could borrow. So right now it says 35. If we wanted to borrow 25%, how much is it if we wanted to deposit, borrow 45? It's a 63. So let's go with, remove that. And we're going to put 60. All right. So now I could borrow again 60 tokens, $60 worth of MIMs, right? And I'm still in the 45% range, okay? So I keep my level of security at the same level, right? So let's go and do that. Add collateral and borrow. That's what we're going to do. And we confirm. All right, this time it should be faster, so keep getting that lovely message. And we can check if the transaction is done. So it's it's cooked. So now that it's cooked, if we refresh, we're going to see more collateral. And also now it should say 200 something. Okay. All right. So let's refresh. Okay. So see, now we have more collateral. We have 88 tokens of collateral. The collateral value is 478. So that went up as well. And I've got 201 MIM borrowed because I started with 140 plus another 60 plus the fee, the borrowing fee of 0.5%. 0.5% of 200 is 1. It works. The math adds up, people. Okay, they didn't cheat us, at least not yet. All right, so we could repeat the whole damn thing again. If we look in our wallet, what's we're gonna find? Ta-da! 59.99999 MIM. I could repeat the whole process over and over and over and over and over again until the amount of MIM gets ridiculously low. Okay, so for as long as it's worth the trouble, okay, you can loop back like this manually. When you loop manually and you get liquidated, they're not going to take 100%. So you're going to have something left. Okay? Now, why are we looping? We're looping because we want to maximize the value of our collateral. This collateral earns interest for us. Okay? It doesn't calculate it for us here. But basically, we started with a certain amount of money. We deposited it at Yearn. We're earning 13.6%. And now, because we're allowed to borrow against that asset, okay, we can deposit more. So essentially, we start with one asset, and we, if you go at this to the ultimate looping, okay, you borrow, your collateral doubles in value. So essentially, you are earning twice as much interest on the same original amount. So instead of earning only 13.6%, I'm going to earn 27.2%. And all I have to pay is 2% interest here and 0.5% borrowing fee. So it's profitable to do this. Now, the other nice thing is if we leave the collateral here for a long time, it will go up in value, and the MIM left to borrow here could be much higher than what they are now. As long as we're careful and we don't borrow too much, we can borrow, you know, again and again and again on the same collateral. We just have to be careful about our liquidation threshold. Okay. All right. So that's it for this video. If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. Download the free book. The link is in the description. All you have to do is put your name, your email address, hit the submit button, get a big fat button that says download the free book. And if you miss that button, we're sending you another email with a big fat button that says download the free book. And if you don't want a free book, fine. Go to Amazon, pay $5.99 to Jeff Bezos, and Jeff will send me a whole $1. See you.